Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. It has been a very challenging day for me. And it's not like all that's going on, though, to be fair. I've been doing a lot of things around the house. I had to take care of the animals. I was supporting my husband. I did do many things, but it's mostly in my head, right? Which is such a nightmare. I am struggling in my head, friends. I know some of you can relate. I'm like, get out of your head. Which is why I think of the acronym FEAR. And it kind of goes, there's several, F everything and run is a really big one. Face everything and recover, which of course is the better one. Those are not what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking about is really the one that's future events appearing real. Future events appearing real. I cannot do anything about the future. It doesn't even exist yet, right? And by God's grace and prayer and better choices, the future can be modified. But there's just so much going on in our world right now, right? With kind of COVID relapsing and a really challenging economy. Can we talk about my Invisalign? I can't keep taking them out or my teeth will never finish getting in place. But I'm kind of over it right now. And I can tell how stressed out I am because I've only had these in for 8 days and they're already starting to tear, which means I'm grinding in my sleep. I am crazily stressed, my friends. I know I still can go and smile and, show up, but I can tell I'm really stressed. And that's always when I'm accidentally living in the future, right? Because in this moment, I am completely provided for and handled. But just all of the stuff going down and part of the reason I watch the news and participate in social media is so that I know what to be praying about. But every once in a while, it gets me. When I am seeing just too many events regarding our climate control and, places flooding and places on fire and like all these major things, I accidentally start to panic, every once in a while. Today was one of those. Another one that I'm on board with is false evidence appearing real, right? And so that's kind of a big thing in our country right now because there's a ton of people who are living by social media rather than evidence, by scientists, evidence by people who actually do the research. They'd rather just believe each other. And it was kind of scary because when I was teaching summer school, I always do a quick write in the morning where the children respond to a question or a would you rather do this or do that and all of that. And one of them was, who do you trust to go to the most when you're dealing with a really serious problem? 3 seconds and the first 2 seconds don't count. Yeah, they go to their friends, their other little 10 and 11-year-olds for security, for advice, more than the parent, more than the grandparent, more than the older brother or sister. Those most certainly came up, but I'd say about 80% of the children said when they have a really scary or serious problem, they go to their friend. And I thought, no wonder the world's in trouble. Oh my gosh, right? I'm guilty to an extent that I accidentally see something in print and believe it. Like, part of it, I'm exhausted and I don't even want to go and investigate further, but God calls me on it. And of course, God has to use other people, but he has people in the world who will suddenly say, Juliana, why did you post that? It was so irresponsible. Here's the proof. Juliana, did you check that on Snopes first? Juliana, did you go like left and right? And I'm like, my bad. I hope I didn't just, devastate someone's world. I'll remove it as quick as I can. Part of the problem is that when you remove it, if anybody else has already commented on it, it's out there. So sometimes I cannot outrun those mistakes. Oh my goodness, but I get so passionate about whatever it is. And yet we know that's part of the manipulation right now, because they have algorithms in social media that intentionally lead you in certain directions, right? By you, I mean me. So I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I was kind of noticing that today. So I feel so bad for my family because I have put us in serious debt with my student loans. And at the time, it seemed brilliant, but it kind of added up. I did pay what I could, and the rest added up. And then it does multiply exponentially. That's the problem. It'd be different if it was just the amount I borrowed, and let's say, even if it's 8% interest, but it's not just 8%, it's compounded interest, meaning it continues to compound, and it just doesn't end. And so, like $30,000 of it is just interest, much like a house or a car or anything else, where you pay for a really long time, but it's all interest long before you ever get to the principal. And then when you get to the principal, you can actually see it start to pay down. Okay, so one of the things that I've been considering is selling my house, which is actually worth quite a bit more than what we owe. But I can't stand the lack of stability of that, because it opens a Pandora's box of many other things. And then I'm like, am I not thinking I'm worthy of staying in my home and having the stability of this home? I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I always trust that God will provide. I think some of this is coming up because of Dale's surgery, right? Because it's not that the surgery won't be successful, and praise God, he'll live through it and come out well on the other side. But he's going to be missing quite a bit of work in his recovery. Again, that's nothing I can see. Yes, I know he'll have to miss some work. Do I have any idea how long? Do I have any idea by grace or, the good core strength he already has that he'll recover sooner, and be able to return to work? I don't know. But all of a sudden, I find myself panicking on money. And I know better than to do that, because by all accounts, we've always been provided for. But I can tell that, so between the false evidence of social media and news outlets and various things that we can't even trust what to see, and sadly, being talked into not trusting what we did see. So like, I saw the insurrection at the White House. I did not imagine the violence going down there and the chaos and the damage. None of that. I didn't imagine any of that. But they've completely changed the narrative of it over time to make it not that big of a deal. And in fact, nearly like any other day at the White House. And what was the problem? So like things like that, my brain just goes like, what's real? What's real? And then, like this, part of me wants to conquer the world and say, not only am I provided for in this moment and deserve my home, but I will absolutely be provided for in the future, and maybe abundantly so. Like, great things are around the corner. And as quickly as I do that, another part of me is like, oh my gosh, can you afford your life if you're all by yourself? Are you writing Dale off already? No, but let's be fair. Life is daily and things happen. Or will he be okay if I'm not here? You know what I mean? Like, we are so not prepared in that way. We don't have so many things in place. And I think that's why so much of this is coming up for me, because I'm filling out the advanced health directive, because I'm not even on his life right now. He's on mine because I'm a little more detailed oriented that way, but I'm not on his. So just stuff like that. And so it was that kind of a day, like everything was bothering me and I was kind of short tempered. I had to take care of the animals. I found myself like yelling at, not like literally like yelling, but in my mind, I was yelling at like the rake to pick up the horse dung because I was super tired and it was super hot and very windy. And when I would pick it up and toss it, some of it was missing and there was more of a mess. And I felt like the dirt was blowing in my face and I was just like raging inside, raging. And I'm like, you can't blame anyone but yourself. There's no one else here. I know what the wind keeps. And did you see? And that trash can just... I've told you before, but it's like the one time I was yelling at some goldfish that I was caring for, as if the goldfish could cause trouble of any kind. All right, I just wanted to talk to you guys. It's one of those days. I'm praying I'll leave it in today and have a fresh day tomorrow. So yeah, future events appearing real. They seem real. But I here's the problem with that. The problem is that if we go in that direction where I am in two ways, if I am literally the judge, the jury, and the executioner for whatever is going down, I've decided I am all of those parts. There's no room for grace. There's just no room for God's grace. And if I have pre-decided what the future is going to be and how it's going to turn out, I'm in the same situation. I have no grace at all to allow God to work his wonders, right? So I think that's what my biggest problem is. So let me just read this for a moment. It says, problems are a part of life. When one problem is resolved and filed neatly away, a new one arrives to take its place. That's that whole idea that there's always something in your inbox, which I so get. And in fact, when I say my prayers at night now, I say, and God bless my inbox. Which my good friend Tanny Raw always says. And she is a health advocate on every health platform, Tanny Raw. But she always says, there's always going to be something in your inbox. And to be fair, it can be something great. An inbox can have blessings waiting, right? Those unexpected love notes in the mail or whatever it is. But it can also be very difficult. So at times our problems in life may seem overwhelming. When the pressure is on and things get difficult, often our response is avoidance or escape. Yeah, I was really proud of myself, because yesterday I did go out with my husband. Thanks for asking, Annie Beard for one. And it was lovely. And Saskia was asking too. It was lovely. I felt like a real date. We haven't been out in forever. I haven't been to restaurants forever, especially with the COVID. And it was just lovely. I ordered properly. He ordered what he wanted. We got to sit there and just talk and converse in a really great way. I can't explain it. There was just a really beautiful energy. But, which is often the case, when I am done with whatever it is, not only do I tend to hold my breath through the stress of whatever it is, and that was kind of a stressful situation for me, to make sure that I was going to make good choices and stuff, right? But when it's over and I exhale is when I often blow my program. I more than make up for the bravery I seemingly had during that time. And luckily, that was not the case. But today, that was maybe coming off of that a little bit. I because my sick self is saying, oh, let's go to blank and we can go get blank and you've done so well. Why don't we and that is just pounding at me if you have that kind of mindset. And my healthier self is like, let's stay the course, And I have been doing my plan. Here's all my stickers. Yay, right? And I've been eating clean, but I've been fighting that all day. So that's kind of that desire. I'm a little stressed about my husband's upcoming surgery. I'm a little stressed about making sure that I'm provided for. I'm grateful I didn't choose to switch jobs. I was considering switching jobs. I'm so glad I didn't act on that because I need some stability right now. But yeah, that's usually my escape. So it says in sobriety, and in this case, abstinence, right? We learn to neither rely on flight nor fight when things get tough. Instead, we consciously engage in the lifelong practice of facing our fears. And it is a practice. We have a choice. With courage, acceptance, and humility, we can find the strength to deal with our problems. I agree. Outrunning things never works because they find us again. It might look a little different. That idea that if you don't learn or resolve issues within a relationship, though in a different package, that same individual would keep presenting until there's a change, And it's just true. I mean, life will continue to insist that we learn whatever the lesson is, and better sooner than later, right? So yeah, I so get it. I want to do reality checks when the future appears that it's going to happen in a certain way that I have absolutely manifested in my head, have already determined the outcome. I have no business doing that. None at all. So there's future events appearing real. I have to be very careful with that. And the idea of that false information, it's false evidence. There's no proof of so many things going on right now. There is no proof. So why am I buying into it, right? Yes. All right. That's where I'm at, my friends. Thank you so much for letting me share my JVV community. You guys mean a lot to me. I am just happy that as difficult as things were, I properly nourished my body. I did all the chores that I intended to. I'm doing stuff for school that's required and I'm acing it, which tends to be my way. But I'm happy to kind of be getting ahead of some things. I'm happy to be rebounding and getting my lymphatic system going. And I'm excited about the Tanny Raw reset. And today is the 16th. I don't know if it closed. It may very well have. Hold on one second for those of you who are still hoping. Okay, so normally I get an email saying that the window's closing. It doesn't look like it's closed yet. People, I cannot tell you what a life changer it is. If there's any way you want to honor yourself, sign up for TannyRaw.com reset. I think it's called Summer Simplicity. It's never simple. It's all profound and brilliant. But maybe that can be simple. I don't know. Okay, but as I was, forgive me, I can speak, seeking Tanny Raw, I found this fantastic quote right here. And it says, there is a battle raging in each and every human heart. This battle is between hope and despair. And we can tip the balance by embracing the call to become ambassadors of hope. That's that idea of an attitude of gratitude. The more you recognize what you're grateful for, you start to see it everywhere. I'm usually a hope-filled girl, but I accidentally got into despair today. I'm going to go forward with hope and lend that hope to others. All right, my friends, if you like, join us. If you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.